Hello and welcome to Cinema Express. My name is Ram Venkat Srikar. Today we have with us filmmaker Swaroop RSJ to talk about his latest film, Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible. Sorry, I have to correct that. Hi Swaroop, how are you?
Hi Ram, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well. So Swaroop, let me tell this first. I watched the film on a late night show after a long day at work last week, and it was a blast. To be honest, I was not expecting something like this. I was expecting something more serious and all, but this was. I know it was pitched as a comedy, but having seen your agent, I wouldn't have believed that it's a complete comedy because Agent was in a way kind of disturbing for me when I first watched it. So Mission was it is still a very serious subject, but it was very comical. So thanks for that.
Thanks, thanks,
So
thanks, Ram.
so you tell me now we have to compare Agent and Mission Impossible. Both of them
Yes,
they have very serious subjects at their core,
yes,
right? Even
yes, yes,
very disturbing. Like Agent deals with religious crimes and dead bodies, their fingerprints being misused
yes,
to perpetrate another crimes, and Mission Impossible is equally serious and dark. It's about child sex trafficking. Oh my god, that's so serious. How do you
yes.
take a serious subject like this and say I'm going to make a comedy out of this?
Yeah, I don't want to make it. I am definitely inspired by the way Rajkumar Hirani make his films. So when I started learning filmmaking, I used to love watching films. But I once I mean the day I thought I'll get into filmmaking as a director. So I used to observe few directors and their style of work. Also, I started loving Rajkumar Hirani. Kind of films. If you see his films, right? I mean, he deals with a very serious subject. I mean, very serious problem, and he tells it in a very funny and a very
Hmm.
simplistic way. I don't put it in a funny way. I'll put it in a very simplistic way. And he uses humor as a mechanism to connect to the people. End of the day, like I'm telling a commercial film. So I don't want to. I want to tell it in a very what do you say simplistic way and connect to the audience more easily. So that's why he uses humor as a mechanism to connect to the audience and the problems if you see he deals with what is a religion pk a religion problem and then
Yeah.
idiots is about our education system and something else. So I kind of love the way he narrates a story where he uses humor as an what is a catalyst. So I'm very much inspired by that kind of filmmaking. And then if I have to connect to the audience more, I mean to larger section of audience, then I thought humor and keeping it very simple is the best way to connect to the audience.
So what comes first to you? The inciting the conflict or the characters? How do you write?
Definitely the conflict, even for agent, right? I mean, if you see that the dead bodies thing and that Ganga thing was always there in the mind. It was a story which was never written in the newspapers, but somehow
Mm-hmm.
I got the reporters from Chennai that actually
Hmm.
happened in Central Station.
Oh,
Imagine the remote
oh my
location.
God. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, and if you remember, like, I mean, in, like 90s, every passenger train used to have a separate goods compartment
Compartment for luggage.
only for luggage. So it used to happen in that compartment in Chennai
Wow.
Central Station. So if I place that today, I mean, people may not believe it. So I had to
Hmm.
place it in a remote after Chennai.
Hmm.
So that incident uh, was on my mind. I mean, for like almost, I heard it in my 10th class, and it was always there in my mind. And then this those days, right? Nellore, there used to be, I mean, now it dried up. There was this Penna River, so people
Yeah,
used to
yeah, yeah.
throw it in the Penna River.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
So that unidentified bodies using it for religious thing was always there in my mind. And then I always wanted to tell a local detective character. When I was wanted to write a local detective character, and then that character was written. What do you say? I mean, it was never meant to be told in the story. I wanted to write a character, detective character, local character. I made some 20, 25 points about character and written that character independently. Then I
Hmm.
thought like I should tell this story. I should uh, take out all these articles and then put it in a
Hmm.
feature film form. That is when I thought I should tell it in a detective thriller format. And then all
Okay.
this yeah.
What was it for Mission Impossible? Because I remember you saying in an interview that Agent was an amalgamation of Sherlock Holmes, Anukogunda Okaroju, and Chetappai. How
Yes.
would you describe Mission Impossible from a writing perspective, from what went behind the writing?
Yes, yes. First thing, right? I mean, even for Agent or like even for this film or whatever films I make, see, I take a social issue, right? I mean, in the sense like I don't want to talk about all the social issues. When I first wanted to make a film, when I was doing short films, right? So general intention while making short films is like let's take a social issue and tell a story about it. I mean, people used to make about smoking, drinking, and all. So
Yeah.
for me, what I believe is, you really believe that smoking is bad, make a film on smoking is bad. Just because smoking is bad, don't make a film on
Don't
smoking
make.
is bad. So I used to hate religious superstitions. I believe in
Okay.
God. It doesn't mean that. I mean, I used to hate those practices. I mean, religious. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
superstitions.
Hmm.
And that child trafficking, right? I keep reading many articles about week, and I have
Hmm.
read few books published. I mean, I used to feel bad about them and feel the statistics and all. So I really wanted
Hmm.
to make a film on. So
Hmm.
that was so when I read the articles about child trafficking.
Hmm.
So whatever you see about the kid, right? Whatever dialogue she tells that, I mean, what should I remove? Should I remove? That was actually a real incident.
Hmm.
So that one like shook me. I should tell this story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
uh, I set up in a fictional world, but just imagine what if it really happens to someone. That was actually a real
Hmm.
incident. That at all I could tell a story about this, and that is one. Then how should I tell this? I
Hmm.
mean, how should I tell this story? That is when, like in 2014 or 2015, I came across this article in a midday newspaper about like
Hmm.
three kids who wants to get rich overnight.
Hmm.
Wants they have a plan. I mean, they like innocent kids. They
Hmm.
what like they read a newspaper article about Dawood. They went to Bombay to catch him. So this is when I thought, okay, this and this has to be clubbed and has to be told in a feature film format is what I felt. Then the writing actually came organically when I see that is what I do usually. So I read a lot of newspapers. I do a lot of I read a lot of the week magazine. So
Hmm.
I if I want to tell something, I'll something. See, you don't have to plan. I mean, writing I don't plan. I don't sit and write. I mean, somewhere it strikes. Okay, this is the story that has to be told. This is the story that has to be combined, like amalgamation. Like I have to mix this and write into feature film column. That is when it happened. So I knew about this child trafficking incidents, and the moment I read about this Dawood Ibrahim three kids trying to catch Dawood Ibrahim story, that is when I thought, okay, let me put both these articles and make it into a feature film format. And that is when I started writing the characters.
Oh,
So I
okay.
believe, so once I told once I decided three kids trying to catch Dawood Ibrahim, how do I tell it in a more generic way so that people will connect? That is where I created three characters like films. First thing for me, uh, once if I tell the story, first thing I'll have to, I mean, people have to connect to those three characters, kids characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that many people will connect to a film buff. And the second
Yeah.
guy made him over smart guy. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
about he trying to win milieu or producer. It's about a guy who thinks he's over smart.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then third, I
Cricketer.
think
Cricketer.
we all
Everyone
love
is a cricketer in India.
Yeah. So then I thought, let me write three innocent characters where audience can connect to, and then let me tell a story through them. So that is when it all started.
Are you as obsessed with films as a child like Raghupati?
No, I was a film buff. I mean, not until my 8th class or 9th class. After that, I was a film buff, and I used to watch a lot of films. But uh, I never thought like I'll get into serious filmmaking. But I used to love. Not, I used to write dramas. I used to write comedy skits in my 10th class, in my +1 intermediate first year, second year. After that, like when I started analyzing films, I think it was in 2001. IT was
Mm.
the film that kind of I was like
Realities.
blown
Oh
away.
yeah, yeah, you said that.
I was like blown away. It was like there was no social media then. There was no like all the big films were releasing, big heroes were releasing, and the film that came out with a small caption like "Anni cinema lokela undavu," and then four
Mm-hmm.
new in the leads, and the film did amazingly well.
Yeah.
So my thing towards like direction started, and then
Began.
started down.
Uh,
So yeah, maybe in 2005 I thought I'll try getting into feature films, but it took me some time. I mean, 2012 I started considering it as a serious career.
so now I remember seeing you saying in an interview that the first day of agent shoot was as chaotic as it can get. Like you had 80 people on the set. You wanted to plan 50 to 60 shots, but you could get only 9 shots.
True.
Now, with all the experience that you have accumulated with agent Sai Srinivas Athreya, were you a
Yeah,
more competent filmmaker when it came to Mission Impossible?
yeah, definitely. The first thing was what our agent gave me is like the first thing is don't plan 50, 60 shots a day. So you'll have to just plan 20,
Uh,
30 shots a day. And forget, I mean, about all that. I mean, agent, when I was doing agent, obviously I was little inexperienced. And
mm,
then for me, there was Naveen Pulshetty who can drive the film. So I can, what do you say, like I can narrate, I mean, discuss, I seen with him. I don't act in front of him. Like he's a good actor. He's
mm,
an amazing.
mm,
So I talk to him for almost 1 and 1.5 hour. I'll talk to him about the scene. Then he
mm.
gets it and then he acts it out. For this film, I had to act it out for kids.
Yeah.
So that I had to do everything. So
Okay.
they were actually what do you say, like they were acting way beyond their age, above their age.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they are 8th class, 7th, 8th, 9th class kids, but their body language or their style of telling the
Yeah.
dialogue, they're all like
Yeah.
above their age. Their innocence is like completely gone. So we had to literally tone them down, and then uh, the few scenes where I have to act it out and show it them on sets. So which I never did in Agent because Naveen was already an actor. I just have
Oh,
to
okay.
talk to him, and then break
Mm,
that wall between actor and then character. That's it. So
mm, mm.
in this film, I have to literally act it out and then tell to them. So it helped me. And otherwise, like managing a set for me, it was like 10 days after Agent Sai Srinivas Athreya, like I could manage the set
Okay.
better. So this was little more easily because the crew was small, three kids. I didn't have a caravan. I didn't have like a large crew. I just had to. It was little better. I mean, easy managing Mission Impossible set because there were no big actors as such.
Mm.
Uh, Otherwise, as a director, I learned a lot for this film, especially like working out with the working with kids, right? You'll know what to talk to an actor, you know what to how to enact a scene, how do you describe the scene to them. Agent was a little more simpler. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So one of my favorite things about Mission Impossible is how cinematic it is. Like
Yeah.
everything is exaggerated. Everything is dramatic. The kids get
Yes.
to walk in slow motion. They get to flip their
Mm.
hair around.
Yes.
Everybody gets a close-up shot. Like
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
mask shots. Tell me
Exactly.
what were your cues to them while doing those scenes?
See, after after, like I told you, right, we had a workshop for almost 60 days for the kids.
Okay. What
Then,
did you show them all masala films or what?
no. I just asked them to read them. See, Raghupati, Raghava, Rajaram will walk that way. See, it's not that we want to make them cinematic. It doesn't. I mean, if you see the characterizations, like they're like already heroes. They think they're like
Heroes, yeah,
heroes.
heroes of their own world. Yeah.
They talk that way. They walk that way. They're all, see, the characterizations are dramatic. Their personality is dramatic. Okay, their thoughts are like cinematic.
Yeah.
So, uh, so someone like them usually walks that way. That is why we kept it that way, and we didn't those little tiny props we gave them, that this thing and that water and that. So that's it. Like they were in a character. We didn't have to tell them anything.
So did you ever think that? So when three kids are the protagonists of the film, and you deal with something so serious like child trafficking, did you ever feel this was getting too serious for the tone of the overall tone of the film? Because I did feel it got very serious with that whole that daughter thing and all. Was that a concern while writing for you?
No, it was never a concern. So I actually felt that uh, we could have bought that kid thing a little ahead.
Earlier.
Earlier, like so initially when we were writing the script, right, the daughter part was immediately after the second song in the first half.
Okay.
So there was like,
yeah, because it's a flashback. It could have been anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah. It's not an linear screenplay, right? So we thought it could have come in the first half. Even now, I feel see at one point of time, right? Three kids catching Raudipurim, you can play it until like half an hour, 45 minutes. After that, like it may get redundant. I mean, something else has to. Like the major point, what we were trying to say, has to kick in the film. So the script, I thought after that 40 minutes, that's the best place for that actual conflict. But somehow on editing table, we made the call and then we didn't reveal it there. I still think we should have revealed it there. After that, we wanted to keep it heighten the issue and then keep it more serious towards the last 40 minutes. That was deliberately made, because like until then, to be honest, storytelling wise, nothing happened. The actual conflict comes in the last 40 minutes. So that was deliberately made. But like if you say, I mean, as I was telling, like, I mean, that point which we were trying to make should have come in the first half, so that seamlessly we could have got
the transition from comic to serious would have been much smoother. Even I felt the same, because one of the criticisms both Mission Impossible and Agent got that the conflict begins exactly at the 38th minute, and here it takes a little longer. So that's one criticism for Mission Impossible as well. How do you react to criticism, Swaroop?
See, I read all the reviews. I read all the comments. Once the film was made, right, on just a couple of days before, saw the film and I know where the problems were. So any positive criticism, I take it. I mean, I'm like very open. It doesn't mean that I take it to head and then get into depression or nothing like that. I mean, I read all the comments. So I kind of luckily, I mean, for this film, luckily, I've been taking in all the inputs and like avoiding the not so unnecessary inputs for the film. Like I kind of know what story I want to tell, and then when they're like big films.
No, inputs in the sense. What can you explain? Inputs.
I say inputs in the sense like exactly what we were talking, right? I mean, the story that was starting like way late in the second half. I mean, for me, right, once the kids are in Bangalore, they think it's Bombay and they're in Bangalore. The story, I mean, they again go to a different place in the sense, like, I mean, they go around
Yeah,
hotels
yeah.
and then they
Hmm.
search for people and that the whole KGF episode. Now, if I
Yeah,
see the film, I saw it like 3 days later before, thought like I should have removed the entire episode.
yeah.
Bombay, start the conflict, then complete the story. I mean, tell the story. So, if you see it that way, right? I mean, the film didn't start well in the second half, especially. And then by the time it started, like few people were like already drained.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, film started only in the last 40 minutes is the main conflict.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
always I was telling, I mean, I could have placed it little in the first half. And then as soon as second half starts, I should have immediately gotten into the story. Yeah. Otherwise,
Okay.
the kind of film I wanted to make is this. I mean,
Okay.
that, uh,
So that's okay. So it's your product at the end of the day. So you at
yes,
least have
yes,
that. So, so the thing I like about you from both Agent and both Mission Impossible is you establish the milieu of the film so beautifully. Be it Agent,
yeah,
the
yes,
Nellore
yes,
setting. So my
yes,
parents are
yes,
from Nellore, so I have heard things
yes.
about Venkatramana Hotel, and so when I heard Naveen say, "Get me meals from Venkataramana," that was fresh because no film had done that. That hotel was never referenced in their film. Same
Yes,
with Mission also. It's set in Tirupati, that
yes.
village near Tirupati. So tell me how you bring these details into your writing and the world. Is it very important for you? Is the milieu very important for you?
Yeah, see, definitely, I think right for any film, I mean, not only for this film, I think if you see Agent or like this film, that milieu is like very important. I mean, it has to come organically into the writing. I mean, it has to be
Mm-hmm.
the way the story has to be told.
Hmm.
See, for me, Agent, uh, if I don't establish his character, I mean, see, for me, establishing this world character, so establishing
Hmm.
this world is very important. So, whatever I bring that hotel or like whatever names I use, is very important to set up his world.
Hmm.
Okay, I mean that has to come organically. Just because I like I mean Ramana Hotel or like I write some, I mean I like something, I don't
Yeah.
want to bring into it. So I think for
Hmm.
any story, I mean it has to be the way it has to be told. It has to be told this way. I mean if you have to establish his world, only if I
Hmm.
establish his world, I can connect to his conflict later. Only if I establish Raghupati Raghava Rajaram's innocent world, only
Hmm.
then I can run the story later. So it has to organically come into writing is what I feel. I mean, I don't uh, Alpaniga Kuchin, I'll not say let me write
Yeah.
this, but
Like let me.
any story told has to be told that way is what I feel. Uh,
Okay, so these are places and these are characters that you have seen in real life.
no, obviously, I mean, no characters never.
No, at least
See,
some attributes.
yeah, exactly. No, see, attributes, in the sense like, I mean, detective character definitely no, but
Yeah,
like
obviously
maybe
not.
the way
Hmm.
film buffs I saw. I mean, I saw people who are like over smart.
Over smarter.
Yeah,
uh,
so I kind of add so much fiction into it. I mean, haven't seen a wannabe director who will direct
yeah.
daily do that, right? I mean, obviously, I add fiction to it. See, I have seen people who are over confident or over smart, but obviously they don't make a AV beforehand, so that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
all those fiction. So I
Yeah,
do fix my world.
that's one my favorite. My favorite comic bits have to be the close-ups of. So in the end, when they say the two beaches,
Yeah, yeah.
Gurga beach and the other beach, when they are going in the truck, Raghupati confirms చెప్పింది కరెక్టే కదా. And he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. So that is amazing, and the grandmother nagging grandmother
Yeah.
in the village, they say ఈమె చనిపోయిన రోజు నేను టాప్ చేస్తా అంటే
And when we're done,
you really don't
yeah.
expect that to come 5 minutes later when
Come.
they're
Yes,
that
yes,
was
yes,
amazing.
yes.
I really
I,
love.
I do that. I mean, I like that. What is a payoff?
Callback.
uh,
Pay up.
callback way of thing. I do that small uh, humorous payoffs, and I even like the big payoff uh, in that end. If you see, right, I mean, there's payoff like pair correct and a
Yeah,
question
yeah, yeah.
confidence
That
specialty. Yeah.
speech, the speech they give. దేశం మీకు
Yes,
ఏం
yes.
చేసిందని కాదు, మీరు దేశానికి ఏం చేశారని.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So tell me
Any
more
film,
about. Go on. No, go on, go on, go on. No, you were telling.
any film, any film like if you see, right, I believe that either plot has to progress or the character has to develop. So if you see agent, right, there were like complaints like it took some time for the plot to start. I mean, see, like establishing the world around him, but why were you taking 40 minutes to establish a world around him? For me, it was like very intentional. I mean, why? Because 20 minutes I could have established world around him, and then he was not getting a case, and he badly wanted to get a big case. In the 38th minute, when an old person comes to the jail and then narrates him a story, will believe it. First thing, audience also will believe it. Audience will say, okay, this guy has started a story. I mean, let this be it. So at that point of time, I don't want anyone else to believe that this is a fake story. So that was very important for me. I purposefully delayed it by like 10 minutes so that like, I mean, let audience
so
think, okay,
the audience will immediately believe when that the story has
the story has started. So few that was like intentionally done. Even for this, if you see the character development and the story starts almost immediately. What I could have done is that conflict which came very late in the film should have started much earlier in the first half.
Okay. So have you taken the criticisms into account and have started implementing it for the scripts you're writing now?
Not immediately, definitely. So if I'm very happy. I'm very happy, and we're very proud of the product which we made, because like making a film with 3 kids and not making it look like a typical kids film, and then at least like
not at all. Yeah.
It was like very challenging for us. I'm very happy the way it has come out, and then I'm taking a break. I usually write very slow.
Okay.
As I was telling you, right, I'm taking a break. I was already traveling from today. I'm taking a 2 week break, and then I'll come back and start writing.
Great. Okay, when is Agent 2 happening?
Agent 2 was supposed to happen. See, initially, like when Agent came, people didn't know Naveen, or like didn't even know that something like this was coming. So when we told a story about religious crimes or religious practices, like it was very fresh for them. So right now, I don't want Agent to again take up a different case and then solve that. I want it to be something else. Agent was first part was more of a Sherlock Holmes meets Centerby kind of a film. So I want to make something like Tintin, adventurous.
Oh wow, the scale also.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want him to again take up a case which is like different, like unique, and like I don't want to do that. I want him to do something else. So we are trying to crack it. Like I think it may take some time, like maybe 2-3 years.
Okay. So you had already said in an interview that you had the chance, you had to choose between making Agent a visually compelling film or story-wise compelling film. But with the budget that you were allocated, you chose to go with the story. And you also said this, I remember this saying, you can listen to Agent on radio and you will still understand the film. You have changed that with Mission Impossible, no? Mission Impossible is a more visual film.
Visually, yes. See, that was my complaint for Agent 2, but I don't want to complain as such. When watching the film, like even now, it is more verbal. So but when I first wrote the film, I thought I'll make it more visually. I mean, film is obviously visual. So I will make it visually more, tell a story visually. But like I said, also like it's budget constraints were like we made with a very low budget agent. So
Yeah,
to tell this film, see, we definitely didn't have like huge budgets, but like uh, whatever we could, like we I think I made a better visual film.
and
Uh,
definitely.
uh,
That's
thanks,
so.
thanks, thank you.
Thanks for your time, Swaroop. I can't wait to see what you do next. So all the best for whatever you're doing next. And I
Thanks,
hope to
thanks.
see you do something as soon as possible. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll, I'll do it too. Very good.